Good morning, happy Sunday, and welcome back to the Sunday Football Review. Week 1, we have a lot to, first, we're going to recap this kickoff. You know, we had a little bit of college football as we prepare for now the NFL season. As we speak, we're playing Friday night football, and so the Chiefs are just hanging on to an interesting game against the Chargers, and we're going to kind of be monitoring that as we do the show here. This is coming out still Sunday, as always. But like I said, we're recording Friday because I'm stuck going to this damn Browns game.
I know. What an unfortunate reality. I have to go to the Browns game.
Yeah, I feel so bad for you, Alex.
But you should. This team, but you know what?
Hey, imagine if it had a dome.
Well, don't become a Doug on me.
If we had a dome, we wouldn't have to worry about the weather.
But the weather's going to be great, Doug.
But Thursday night, it wasn't.
I don't even want the weather when it's good.
It wasn't
outside bad. I'm going to be inside even when I'm outside. Can I be outside? Maximize the inside.
Dude, but the NFL premiere wouldn't have had a delay. All I'm going to say.
Well, with all of this considered, it's the only Browns game of the season where I can confidently still have, I wouldn't say hope, but it isn't just completely shattered doubt.
It's still fun.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't started losing yet.
Football.
Oh yeah, and plus you get Flacco still.
Yeah,
you do. I don't think it's going to be all 17 games with Joe. I don't think so. But at least you get to go when it's oh yeah, he's starting. There's no worry. He's not going to play.
Rome Ford.
Dude,
I got
could you
confidence.
imagine if he played poorly and immediately they were put in Sanders?
Oh man.
Or Gabriel.
Just the gun.
Second quarter, Joe got benched on the game one.
Not Super Bowl winning legendary Browns football player Joe Flacco.
Oh, God, how could you disrespect him like that?
Not happening. Exactly. You did it, not me. But with all that being said, we've got to first kind of recap some college football going into this week. Then we'll start considering the initiation of this NFL season and everything else. Will's over here getting distracted by this halftime show. Is that Beyonce?
No,
Who is it? Is that Fergie?
No, I think it's Shakira.
That's something.
That's Shakira.
It's being played in Brazil, so I would think
Shakira.
But yes, no, that did distract me. I was not expecting a halftime show.
My hips don't lie, and football is crazy. All right. With that, we will go to college football, where things seem to be a bit more tame. In our world, right, where Ohio State just continues to dominate. But in other worlds, it seems to be getting progressively unhinged. I'm going to take a position that I know is going to be contrary to yours, and that'll make for an interesting dialogue. But I do think this chapter of Bill Belichick's story is truly tarnishing the legacy he's leaving behind. First, before we even unpeel layers to this onion.
I did see that.
This is crazy. Can you actually name a football coach that has this situation?
Why is the university allowing this?
Why is he allowing this?
Because he's got the name.
You know what? I noticed him and Tom both were different after post New England. They both were a little bit, you know what I mean? Tom, you saw
withdrawals.
You saw a side of Tom that you'd never seen in New England, and he's not in New England anymore. Bill, I don't necessarily think it's tarnishing. It's like I say, I always think of because that 20-year dominance. I always think of that.
Yeah,
but I do find this weird,
dude.
They look like. Would you be surprised if these two ended up on Dateline in 10 years?
Oh my goodness. No, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Can I tell you, the whole world is raising an eyebrow with this whole situation, right? He does interviews. He's never done interviews. Now he's doing a Dateline type interview for the press. You know, we got to build the clout, but she's sitting desk side dictating his answers and the types of questions they can ask. Here's this young 20-something that's steering the ship.
Yeah.
And while, like I said, it's got all of us with this weird, we've got this perspective. It's got our eyebrows raised. What the hell's going on? No one has a better perspective than his wife, his ex-wife, who's just family and friends are you've seen Bill, right? And she's just he has lost it. I don't know what's gotten into him. He just lost it. And it's this is someone your age. you've lived an entire lifetime with. And what happened to where it's like, I'm going to the 20-year-old?
Well,
I don't know. I don't know. It's such a weird
To the point where you let
the
this take
discussion.
over, where you let this take over your football field.
here's my thought, guys. I
Yes.
got the answer. All right. He's moved to college. He's got to work on recruiting. Who's better at recruiting than a hot woman?
All right, let's
I mean,
good perspective. Good perspective. Good perspective.
I mean, come on.
Doug's
Like,
like, I'd go,
is that
I'd go.
not the most logical answer of why he moved to college football?
No,
I mean,
that is not.
All
That
of it
not.
is recruiting. She's the perfect recruiter right there.
I'm gonna skip going to Michigan and I'm gonna go to North Carolina. So I could stand on the sidelines next to his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's 24-year-old.
But I do love that because of her, he's doing like press conferences with balloons
He's on a
around
book
him.
tour.
Yeah, this is crazy.
He's on a book tour.
And it's so
Big
not
Bad
him.
Bill is on a book tour.
So to kind of pave the way of this consideration, I'm going to kick it off to
How did they
a
meet?
good.
I don't mean to cut you off, but like realistically, let's think.
Yeah,
about
I get.
How did they meet? Because it wasn't like they were seeing each other before he was at UNC.
right?
So it's like, where did you two? What cross paths here? What star-crossed lovers brought you two together? That like this is now.
He's filthy, stinking rich.
But Doug, where would they meet? Is what I'm saying. I
A
understand
certain
why she's with
island
him.
that we can't talk about, maybe?
I understand. Okay, all right.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, geez. Maybe she's a call girl.
What?
I'm being serious.
Well, I'm sure he probably was like, I'm soliciting something, and then it just turned into, I'll solicit you for life.
Indecent proposal.
With no prenup.
Yeah, you get it all. Millions.
You get it. You're in the will.
For life. You will work for life. And no one will see you're working.
I just, oh God. I see when you wanted to talk about Bill. I thought
Bill Belichick, and it's Jordan. Dude, don't mess that up. If you say Jordan, dude,
Wait, what?
dude, you're gonna come on the show and disrespect. It's Jordan.
Like the country?
Dude.
Or is that pronounced Jordan too?
Jordan.
That's Jordan. That is Jordan. They're like, we're even freaking normal. We're even normal.
We're named after Michael.
It's Jordan. Okay, so Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson first crossed paths in February 2021 when they happened to be seated next to each other on a flight from the Boston area to Florida. Sure. During their conversation, Belichick signed Hudson's college textbook titled Deductive Logic, writing, "Thanks for giving me a course on logic." They maintained a preliminary low-key contact until their relationship turned romantic around early 2023. Dude, this guy found some cute girl that was like, I'm going to destroy your marriage, and I'm going to die a millionaire.
You know, it's only logical, you know, Mr. Spock style. It's logical.
This one thinks that people are going to UNC because of her.
Could you tell? Could you tell?
Dude, just listening to
Mr.
that story,
Spock.
it sounded like Turtle and Jamie Lynn Sigler from Entourage. Like, of course, you two just happen to be sitting next to each other. Now you're just gonna happen to be in each other's lives forever.
Oh, I'm sure it was luck. I'm sure this girl was like, wait, I got 2 hours to plant this seed of destruction.
How much digging did she do?
Oh no, she looked to her left.
Yeah.
It was like, wait, you're worth how much? And she looked him
Well,
up
what's
and down.
crazy
Was
is she
like,
probably
I could do this.
recognized him. She probably was like, "It's Bill Belichick."
Not even that, dude. Not even that.
Was he wearing
I
a hoodie?
guarantee more than anything, he had the whole flight's attention as they're boarding, as they're, around the terminal. Like, I'm sure there's whispers, pictures being taken, and she's like, that's a famous guy. And then fate just had, she was first class in 3C and he was 3B. And she was like, dude, I will ruin your marriage.
Were they
for a
still married? Wait,
lifetime
was
of-
Bill still married, or were they
Yes.
divorced by then?
That's what's insane.
See, I thought they weren't, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's still wild.
Well, it was kind of one of those. I met her on a plane, But I didn't get with her until 2023.
Uh-huh.
Come on now. I met her on a plane.
That's what I mean. But
And then we just became Bill Belichick's quite the pen pal. We were penning each other for 2 years. And then I was lonely. My wife, we left each other. And then she consoled me.
good. You know what? Good for her though. I think
Dude.
that's the crazy thing is like at the end of the day, I look at her, I'm like, that's a hustler. Like she's a grinder. She knew where she wanted to be at in life.
And she's there. Sidelines.
Like
Better
she's
seats
on
than my
the
dad's.
sidelines of the UNC game, talking to Bill. Like, Bill, stop throwing it. Run the damn ball. Like that's what she's doing.
I don't know what I was thinking. Oh my God. She knows best. Balloons? Where are the balloons? He's becoming Bill Clinton before our eyes. Literally. Oh my God. Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
I like her more than Hillary though.
It's Jordan Lewinsky. So, to progress this further as we got derailed, we needed to know. We needed the tea. We needed to know how they met.
I don't know how we took it in that direction.
We needed to know. You
disrespectful.
will. You.
Oh, you
Now,
will.
We needed the tea. Now, to keep us kind of paving the way on this conversation, I get to kick it to Kevin Clancy from Barstool. This is kind of how I feel
I
exactly.
think we're at the point where we need to have a serious discussion about what's going on with Bill Belichick. I think we're well past that point, but last night getting his doors blown off just adds a whole new wrinkle to the conversation. Because if Bill Belichick just went out there and like UNC went undefeated and they were in the national title discussion and he's in the playoff and he's just continues to be this like football wizard, it's actually another notch on his belt, right? It's another part of his resume. And we start to ignore the Jordan Hudson stuff and it's like, yeah, it's just some old guy fucking a young girl. But look, he's still like a football savant and he took the Tar Heels to the promised land. After seeing the Tar Heels down 41-7, they lose 48-14, and Jordan Hudson's on the sidelines in like bell bottoms from the disco era. Something is going on. Something deeper and darker and more nefarious because just none of this makes any sense. I guess you could say, yeah, listen, he's an old man who's fucking a young girl and he took a cushy job where he's going to get paid millions of dollars with no expectations and nobody cares if he wins or loses because UNC football's a joke. I guess you could say that's the case. Maybe that's it. But for a man who was so disciplined and so serious and such a winner and never wanted to be a loser and always the same methodical business-like approach to now just throw it all out the window for some young pussy and to get your doors blown off and embarrassed on the football field, it just doesn't make sense. It feels like this man's being blackmailed. It feels like this man's being held hostage. Why would somebody with such a sterling reputation and such a legacy ruin it all to get embarrassed for UNC football? It just doesn't make any sense. Did she make him take this job? Did he get her as part of taking the job? Are they intertwined? What is happening? And more importantly, why couldn't it have happened earlier? Why couldn't this happen like 10 years ago when it was still on the Patriots? Why couldn't we just flaunt a 24-year-old girlfriend in front of him back in his Patriot days and him and Tom Brady lose like 4 extra Super Bowls? None of this has made sense from the beginning, but if you went out there last night and the tables were turned and UNC put up 48 points and everyone was like, damn, Bill Belichick's about to take over college football, it would all kind of fall into place. But when the total opposite happens, it leaves me just wondering what the is going on. And I don't think we're going to get our answer. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but one day, might be 20 years from now, might be when Bill's gone off this earth, we're going to find out the truth of what the is going on for this Bill Belichick era. From Jordan Hudson to UNC football and everything in between. We're going to find out the truth. And when we do, I'm telling you, it's going to be some weird.
You know, I got to leave it to Kevin to find a conspiracy where, you know, there probably isn't one.
And it's wild coming from him, considering his history too.
Which is what?
Dude, he like cheated on his pregnant wife.
No way.
Yeah, like a couple of years ago. Probably around the time Jordan and Bill met. I'm not joking. So you know what's bad when he's like, this makes no sense to me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about calling the kettle.
Oh yeah. That's why when you brought him up, I was like, oh yeah, let's
Or
see what
he's-
insight he's got.
Or he's just the perfect person to know what's going on.
Yeah, I think you're fair. Doug's got the insight.
Sometimes it takes a killer to know a killer. Sometimes it takes a crazy to know a crazy.
Yeah.
You should write a philosophy book.
Dude, you want that fortune cookie?
There is a fortune cookie. It's stale though, Doug. Your future is staling it before our eyes.
He just-
just like those Oreos.
He just words it correctly, like perfectly. It's just I couldn't even begin to kind of guess what's going on.
But
Yeah.
something's going on.
Yeah, but like
Something's goofy.
Something has to be going on. Something has to be going on.
I mean, do you think he just like is crushed by the fact that he spent a lifetime with a partner that went to waste, and you're at the end of the road?
Absolutely, that's what
just
he's
throw it to the
he's
front.
in it for.
Yeah,
That's what he's definitely in it for. It's like,
and she's like, "This is work, job. You go to work. I go to work. I'm gonna be a millionaire. You hand coffees out the window."
the part, and again, Urban Meyer did the same thing where he was like, he was like doing broadcast, and then he decided to like, oh, I'll go coach again and go in the NFL. And after like 2 weeks, everyone was like, including himself, was like, I hate this. I should never have done this. This is what that kind of reminds me of. The only different caveat is we just had a photo of Urban kind of like feeling up a college girl at a bar. That was
Ooh.
it.
In
Remember?
Columbus.
Like that was it. Bill is getting sideline interviews and discussions with his girlfriend.
Yeah,
That's where I'm like, this is making. She
Well,
knows.
yeah.
She doesn't
And-
know ball.
And
Oh,
this is a guy that
well-
won't do interviews himself.
Here's my thing too: is like there are all these rules about players and coaches not being able to have cell phones, being able
Right.
to talk on the headsets at certain times. Yeah, you can have your girlfriend on the sideline talking to you throughout the game. Like she basically your way you're cheating. Just like we know Belichick is known for cheating. All right, we all know that now.
Ooh.
Is this his way around it? Is he having her
Well,
maybe?
see, but
text?
this is the inverse of that, Doug.
Yeah, this
He
is-
divorced Deflategate. This is Inflategate by about 30 years.
Yeah, this is this. There's no way this girl knows enough ball to like do that.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
she
mean?
doesn't have to. He can just say, "Hey, can you text someone to this for me?"
Yeah,
you know,
to
like,
get blown out 48-14.
Dude, I
like,
really do think this is, if anything, take this as crass. I'm sorry, whatever. But my takeaway from this is it really shows the power of the female seduction. That it's just one of those like, guys, she's itching a scratch none of you can reach. And I'm going to go down in a blaze of glory.
I wonder how much money he's giving her.
he's getting a
Half. And there's a lot of
But
half.
that's what I mean. Like, I wonder how much it really, you know.
Millions.
Well, why do you think
And I
he
bet
moved
you,
to college?
I bet you,
College?
depending on how this goes, divorce me, you get half.
But here's
And
the
you've
thing.
paid your dues. But if you die with me, you get it all.
But here's the thing, and Doug brought up a decent point. Reminded me of my Urban Meyer one. Why leave broadcasting to coach UNC? Guess what I'm saying? They were seeing each other before that.
Well,
That's
I
why
think this
this
is-
doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
Bill, why did
Because-
you go back to
Because
coach?
college football coaches get paid a lot of money, and they're not necessarily the ones doing recruiting.
Doug, there's
They're
no
the
way.
no. He's the name to help all the people recruiting. Like they're just paying him money to literally be there and help recruit the future classes of their players. That's why he's the name that UNC needed,
But why would he do it?
because he
Why?
wanted money.
Doug,
He
this is a
wanted
man
money.
who doesn't need money. This is a man who truly doesn't need more
Yeah,
money.
he wanted to be relevant
just
in
wanted to
football.
coach.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think he
like- but
loves
like-
coaching.
but like,
and-
what's with the girl then? What is
Yeah.
she there for? And I agree with you.
cheating.
Like, I agree with you. It's 100% he likes coaching. Like he misses that. I don't think Urban did as much. But for me, it's like, Bill, UNC, no, but I didn't really think UNC was going to be good even when he showed up. You know, I mean, look at his resume post.
It's
Or
first year
post a
too.
free
He
without
hasn't
Tom
really
Brady.
recruited
But like,
anyone.
what has he won without Tom Brady as a coach?
Nothing.
Yeah,
No. I see. Okay, now let's ground ourselves in the real debate here, because we were playing golf in our golf league. I made the comment to you. I was like, I really do think this kind of is at least an asterisk. And at first, I said tarnishing. You're like, I don't think so. Well, here's my problem. I think it's been kind of like a snowball effect. This is take the peak of peaks. His last Super Bowl win with a Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the height of his career where it's like, dude, can he keep going? Can he get better? Is this guy is at his peak? Okay. At that moment, Tom Brady and him part ways.
Right.
Okay. So his legacy could go up. It could go down. If he just retires or kind of fades off, it could just stay the same. Look at the height he reached. It's kind of like a high jump. Like that was the highest part he was able to hit with his tips. And there's this hope because we don't have the future yet, the context of future. Like he could go higher, but even if he doesn't, that's a great spot to be. And part of what frames my perspective is from that moment, it did kind of just slowly trickle down. Tom leaves. Tom kind of has this side eye of like, one of us got to prove it. Who was it? And we all kind of, even after it all, it's like, it was both of them. Takes a coach. And guess what? I think if you take some of the shit coaches the Browns have had, or even just a moderate coach, find on a strong team, take the Lions coach, or even maybe, the Dolphins coach, a goof like him, and you put him on a super, super great roster. Could they do it 4, 5, 6 times? Like, that's what's insane. It's one thing to be like, all right, a great player carried you to do it once. But the second you start filling up your hand, that's insane.
Okay.
And so I have to give credit where credit is due, where it's like the height is as high as it just about gets. So clearly this isn't just a fluke. It isn't Tom. It's a combination of things. But my personal opinion is it feels like Tom did kind of prove that in that dynamic, it was a bit more him than Belichick.
At the end of it.
Certainly.
The first few Super Bowls, I'm going to put a lot more on Belichick.
Sure. Well,
Once
I
you've
could
got
say
4,
he
5,
crafted
6.
the Titan.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I mean. No.
Maybe.
I'm not in disagreement.
But then if that is his skill, right? Foraging Titans. He did it once, can't replicate it. Something and in terms of replication, like a Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, like we get the luxury of Michael Jordan went to go be a billionaire in the background of society. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady isn't going away. This is sweet. We get to have a great, just stick around. And the more you listen to him talk, it's like, oh no, that's a Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
That's a Last Dance type mentality where it's like, dude, this is a 1 in a million type of human being. And I won't say that Belichick provided iron to strike it sharper, but this is a Michael Jordan. This is a Tom Brady. This is a Pat Mahomes. Tubby with the mustache definitely isn't hurting Patrick Mahomes, but so much of this is Patrick Mahomes. But a lot of this is the roster. It's a combination of things.
But you're taking away from 2 of the greatest coaches of all time.
Sure.
Like just,
but I'm also putting it. But I'm also putting a lot more on 2 of the greatest football players.
No, and I agree. But like,
so
I mean, see one taking away from the other
because here's a common thread. Is it a coach riding the roller coaster, or is it a coach steering the ship? I say that because what makes a great is, Patrick Mahomes has 3 and counting.
Okay.
Tom Brady was able to fill his hand and some. When you have these types of guys that are a flash in the pan fluke, like look around the league, you don't have counting like you're running the bases. This is just do you know how many out of 32 teams, how many of grown men would cut their foot off to do it once? So there's something extra spectacular in those moments where you can repeat it over and over again. And in that repetition, dude, you had a murderer come and go. Tom Brady stayed, right? Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
So like a Gronk comes and goes. A Tom Brady stays. So what's the common thread through all of those? The coach, yes, but the coach is only working with its roster. And if that roster is coming and going and evolving throughout the years, but one player who will inevitably be chiseled in as a great all-time Hall of Famer, is it that but also Shannon Sharp, Michael Irving. There's plenty of great football players that will go in the Hall of Fame and will be spoken about forever. But also, they'll never have this thing that really separates you, like the cream from the crop. So when the common thread is one player
And one coach.
and one coach, but what makes that coach special is the collective of that roster.
Okay.
And one player is the only thing that threads it all. That, again, the coach is there, but to me, it reads as you're riding the roller coaster. You are steering the ship. You're calling the plays, 100%. And it's not to take away from how important that role is. Clearly, it is. That's why the Browns can't get off the ground. But at the same time, I don't think it's the end all be all. The end all be all is the field. And when you are the tip of the spear of on the field, I don't know. To me, and this is why it's a personal thing. To me, Tom showed just walking into Tampa Bay, which was a solid franchise to begin with.
It was a better
but has
team.
crafted it into a Super Bowl contender for like this is a solid. It's even better than when he left it.
I hear what you're saying, and I hear what you're saying, but I just disagree. I think like this girl is taking away from 2-decade dynasty, 6 Super Bowl.
Wait. Let's talk about that.
But like
piece more
Tom,
than
okay,
anything.
like
the debate of like a coach versus
Tom is better. Tom at the start of his career with Bill was more important. By the end of his career, Tom was more important. But like to look at it and be like, oh, Tom carried him for 4 more Super Bowls. I'm like, oh, I don't agree with that. But I think by the end, Tom Brady was not a top 5 quarterback when he won his first 3 Super Bowls. It was then he had Randy Moss for 10 years. So when you want to talk about great rosters,
too.
it's like Tom Brady, funny enough, what made him and Bill so crazy, they won more Super Bowls with like less than when they had more.
That's what I mean.
But like that's
and
a
every
coaching
time
thing,
it
too.
shapeshifted, except
That's
like,
a
dude,
coaching
Randy
thing.
Moss is a big piece.
He didn't win a Super Bowl.
Aaron
with them.
Hernandez is a big piece.
Didn't win a Super
Gronk
Bowl.
is a big piece.
Gronk was the only one of those 3 you named that won a Super Bowl.
Sure.
And in fact, in 2 of them, actually, funny enough of this 2 of them, the only one Gronk played in and won was the one in Tampa. He was hurt in the other 2 in New England.
Oh
Like, he was
my
winning
God,
Super Bowls.
yeah.
He was
I
winning.
mean, he definitely was a pivotal piece of getting
But,
them
like,
there.
getting there, and I
it's
agree,
a great,
but
it's a great.
But it's
fact.
like when you bring up, it's like, oh, it was just no. It's like no, it was Tom and Bill. Like it was this. Tom did offense. Bill was defense. Like it was weird. Like if you think like the best coaches in the NFL are all offensive head coaches, right?
Right.
More than less. It's like Andy Reid. He's an offensive coach. It took him 20 years until he found Pat to do it. It's like all Bill had to do was go to New England and the backup quarterback show up. That started it. Like
Right.
I give him credit for being a defensive coach and winning 6.
Oh, again, we're talking about
But
we're
we're comparing
criticizing
the-
one of the greatest coaches of all time,
So, but
compared to one of the greatest football players of all
right.
time.
So, but like then back to the original standing argument of with the girl. You think this girl is taking away from 6 Super Bowls? Like you think it's tarnishing that much?
Well, so that's
because
kind
it's
of
post his New England
concluding
career.
what when the tip of the spear is your last Super Bowl,
Mhm.
and now it's kind of like, all right, Tom kind of took away a little bit of the shine when he goes to Tampa and wins a Super Bowl. Then now you've got like, dude, look at this image of him dressed as a sailor and her.
Oh, I'm not
as a
saying I don't
mermaid.
think it's weird.
So it's like then you have this little bit of a first the shade. Now it's this fall off. You're in the tabloids. Like, dude, you've never been in the tabloids. You don't even talk in interviews. And now you're going through a divorce and you're dressed like a sailor. And it just keeps snowballing. You're having these terrible interviews where she's steering the ship now. It's extraordinary for me to say Tom might have had an influence in steering the ship. Now his little 20-year-old girl is steering the ship. That's insane. That's not the Bill of, like you were saying, 2010.
okay, I get it. He's different now, but all right, let me ask you this question. In 30 years, you think back on Bill Belichick, what's the first thing you're going to think of?
This.
Really? Okay, I completely disagree. That's where this conversation then, I guess, ends. Like, we just view Bill differently. This isn't really making, unless she does something and he ends up on Dateline because Bill's not able to be actually on Dateline because we all know what happened, like another famous athlete back in the 80s. Like, it'd be one of those situations where, okay, that would overshadow just about everything else. But it's like, I'm going to think of him and be like, yeah, greatest football coach in NFL history. Like, I won't even hesitate. Like it won't be like, oh, Jordan.
I don't think so.
I'll be like
I think
Jordan's
Andy Reid.
husband.
Guess what? History is we have goldfish syndrome. We are thinking about the most recent, the most hot. Like nobody's talking about Jim Brown. People are talking about
People talk
Saquon
about Jim
Barkley.
Brown all the time.
We do because we're in this ecosphere.
to say
But it's
nobody
going to
talks
slowly
about him.
phase out, and this is going to. Guess what? There are 13-year-olds talking about Saquon Barkley significantly more than Jim Brown.
Well, no, yeah, he's a relevant player.
We're talking about Jim Brown to our dads.
But why do we talk
That's
about
it.
Jim Brown? Because he was a great football player.
And from Cleveland.
You know, but like,
Thank you.
but he was a great football. But like, just
Yes.
anybody brings up Barry Sanders. Why do we talk about Barry Sanders?
Exactly.
No, he's a Detroit player. It wasn't because he was a good player. He was a Detroit player. I don't even know why I'm talking about him. I'm not from there.
Right.
You know, but like, it's just like, guys, like, and I get it. Right now, his image, it's weird. It is weird. I will give up that point. But it's like 30 years from now, your grandkid, Dad, who was Grandpa, who was Bill Belichick? Dude, you should have seen his girlfriend.
No, but
Like,
see,
you
this
get
is
what I
this
mean?
is why I love your optimism. It's great. This is a beautiful perspective because there's still hope. The reality is this chapter isn't even over. It's literally starting. Like you're literally convicting yourself before the story is even written. We are in the beginning of an insane chapter for an old man. And speaking of just even keeping it grounded in football, like this is a circus that the merry-go-round is dancing around. But to keep us grounded in football, because I love where you're at right now. I got you at a 10. To take you to an 11, I'm going to show you someone you hate more than anybody. So here's Colin Cowherd.
And Colin.
Yeah, I know you do. So here's Colin with a perfect like football take, keeping all the conspiracy.
All the discussion about Bill Belichick, the big concern I had was 40 transfers. It's like a friends and family coaching staff. There's 3 Belichicks, and then there's Belichick's girlfriend. It kind of feels like a friends and family staff. Young Bill Belichick would have fired this Bill Belichick. After the first drive, 6 drives without completing a pass. Because the game has changed. You have to take offense seriously. Belichick has become the chef that won't change the menu. He doesn't move the ball. He doesn't take offense seriously enough. Change the menu.
It's this shift in coaching. Like if we're gonna if the dialogue is gonna circle around who he is as a coach, the current guy we have a front row seat to, which again, let's just acknowledge if you were to retire and you're like, I love playing golf, and you just start playing golf for the rest of your time, but you suck because you're old. It's like, well, let me die. Let me die in peace. Like I'm having fun. Here's what's cool. You're still of value to a university that really isn't going to find itself in the championship, but they're here to have fun and they want to compete and they want to attract people. And more than anything, they know they could fill a locker room with young stars or potential athletes that want to just be graced with the orbit of, again, a legendary coach that will go down in history. But there's choices being made that, like Doug pointed out when we were preparing for today's episode, you have a coach that seemed to have worked out a perfect play scheme for like a quarter. And it was seamless and crisp. And the second that ran out, it just unraveled. Now, a lot of that was the talent he stuck working with and trying to work with the pieces you have.
So what's your argument here?
I'm not. You are arguing. I'm not. I'm just making fun points here.
No, okay. No,
yeah, I'm making concessions that should really infuel your position, and then I'm also just kind of leaning away in others, which is here's a great quarterback, here's a great coach. This chapter isn't over.
Okay.
But this is not the Bill of the past. And I'm going to end my point with Colin Cowherd's point, which is the Bill that you want to remember his entire legacy by would fire the Bill of today, who has cleaned house and just brought in friends and family and is more focused on the balloons and the color attire.
Okay. No, like with that point, it's like another one in the NFL right now. It's like, look at Jerry Jones. It's like, he's another one. Like the old Jerry Jones of now is nothing like them. You get what I mean? Like, and that's why when like he went to college, it's like when Urban went to the NFL, it's like, I get you like coaching and want to be around it. It's like, especially college. There's something weird about it.
Interesting.
But it's like college kids. It's like you're going to hear about an 18-year-old throwing a rock out of a car, hitting another car. I would expect that more from a college kid than the NFL. Again, we're Browns fans. Browns players love to do stupid shit all the time. But it's like one of those, like, I don't know why he chose, other than I think like his dad went to UNC or something like that. But like, again, why are you going to college? Think of how many coaches have had success at both levels.
Well, you raised a great point that kind of triggered something to me by making the comparison again. Like it didn't settle with me it didn't trigger it in me the first time, but making the comparison to Urban Meyer, it's like
they had the same job.
You're like, all right, I want to keep it going.
Right.
Let me keep it going. And then real quickly, you're like, nah, I can't do this. And now you've got me curious what's going to really, again, what kept my point open-ended. I'm not making a declaration like this is the end of this guy, but it's this chapter isn't closed. And if it keeps writing it down, we have an entire season. And if it keeps writing it down its weird way, it's going to leave an asterisk. However, it could be like Urban Meyer, where it's like he starts walking this road and he's like, all right, this got weird. People are, I don't like being on the cover of People magazine.
Like whatever,
and so I'm going to go just like Urban Meyer did and maybe do some speaking engagements. You know, my girlfriend wants the clout. She wants to be around it. So maybe I'll make some stops at ESPN and talk here and there, Barstool, whatever. But maybe that reality check comes. And that would be the logic, the groundedness of the Belichick that we know. And I would hope that to be the case. Not that he has to quit, but at some point he goes, all right, kind of like Deshaun. Deshaun Watson is in a loge in Los Angeles while his team is playing. And then somebody said, don't come to the stadium. If that's what you're going to do. The tabloids are going to be talking about it. It's going to be this whole circus. Don't do that. How about Patrick Mahomes? He's got his girlfriend doing TikToks and his brother doing less clothed TikToks.
You don't see him anymore. I wonder what
and
happened
again,
there.
That was exactly the road I was going to walk down. You know, Kermit the Frog looked at him and said, stop. This is becoming way too much of a circus. It's distracting from everything else. I do not want to walk into a grocery store again with your faces on the magazine taking away from what we're doing here. So stop. I could see it. This all goes to rest the second Bill looks at her midseason and goes, you're going to the suite. Go sit in the club seats. I'll get with you. You can't keep doing this. It's a bad look, and it's affecting the play. How does that not affect the environment?
I don't think much affected the environment because I think TCU is just a better team. They brought like 70 guys in or whatever, like just a ridiculous amount of transfers in it. Like I just think UNC was out of like their element going in. It's just more like, Doug, you raised a point earlier where you brought up like, oh, part of the reason she wants to show up here is recruiting. It's like, why does Bill Belichick even want to recruit?
Well, next year is going to be the year to really start judging him at UNC because right now he hasn't recruited most of these people.
He's brought in 70 transfers.
Yeah.
This is all of his team. This is who he wanted to bring in. So that's why I'm like, I don't like, you never have to do that in the NFL.
That's a great
You have
point.
scouts do it. They look, draft him, take it. And Bill was a notoriously bad drafter. You know, Tom Brady was luck. He was all luck in the 6th round. But it's like to recruit, like Urban Meyer, I get it, for college. Charismatic, not a bad-looking guy, seems happy-go-lucky. You know, Bill, he looks like Emperor Palpatine.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know why he decided to go back to college. If you would have said like, oh, he picked up another NFL
because
job,
I don't think an
right.
NFL team wants him anymore. I think he's kind of lost that.
I think
and
he
now
wanted
it's time
to
to go
change
play.
his image, partially, kind of you.
Yeah.
With your bits,
because
like,
if you know, back to my point, I could appreciate your position where I'm being overly critical, and you know what would fuel further unnecessary criticism? If he did go to an NFL team, and now you're on the Jags, and they're eating
and they're
mud.
just an awful team.
Now it's like, look it, Tom's even greater. And it's like, yeah, it's the friggin' Jaguars.
And it's like you go to UNC, it's like, yeah, no one's expecting UNC. It's like Deion at Colorado. It's like, how good are they really gonna be? Probably all right, but like they get stomped by Ohio State. In the NFL, it's like, oh, you're all playing the same group. We know who's the best, we know who's the worst.
Yes.
You know, and so that's why I can understand college to a degree, but then like I think of like recruiting. It's like, Bill, you're not built for this. You know, like Nick Saban, who's like the NCAA's Emperor Palpatine, but it's like he coached in the NFL. It didn't work. College, great. I can think of like 3 coaches that had success in both the NFL and NCAA.
Yes.
You're not one of them. That's fine. That's fine. You don't need to be. Like, and it's just, and then the girl is like the girl is like the thing. You look at like the whole UNC thing with Bill, right? If it was like a thing, it's like all your guys don't like recruiting. Why college? And then over here is just a meteor, and it's Jordan Hudson coming in crashing like Armageddon with Bruce Willis. And no one knows why. No one knows how to freaking fix it. And it's just, we're all just sitting there watching. And I'm like, so it's like, I get your point when you're like, right now it looks weird. Because it's like, I think I like Jerry Jones. I'm like, yeah, Jerry Jones looks weird. He looks like a weak, frail old man. And then I watched that Netflix documentary about the Cowboys in the 90s. And it's like, dude, the balls on that guy in the 90s, he got in 89, was just like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. Fired everybody, brought in his own thing. Within 5 years, he won like 3 Super Bowls. And it's like, yeah, the balls on that guy. And then I still see him. We still see Jerry. I hate talking about him.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's just a frail old man now. Like he's lost that edge. And it's like, I think
yeah.
Bill's lost his edge. This girl
Yeah.
strokes and gaslights the ego. UNC, I mean, sure, kids are going to go there. It's Bill Belichick. Like, why wouldn't you?
And UNC, it's still a good school.
Yeah, like it's not a bad school overall, but it's like, Bill, I don't think you're personally built for college football. I think you're built for the NFL.
He's been
Yeah.
out too long.
It's not even out to. Well, then it comes back to like, why even do it?
Right.
You're probably making. It's like, Doug, you mentioned money.
It's like
dude,
we play Fortnite. He
Yeah.
plays with people. I play Madden with people. That's how good I am.
but it's like it's
For
like,
fun.
For like Doug, you mentioned like he needs money. It's like, Doug, he probably was getting paid like $5 million.
He doesn't need money, but college football coaches make a good amount of money, man.
But like again, all that extra BS work. I got to get phone calls from cops because kids got pulled over for
But
being
that's not
intoxicated.
him. I guarantee you, like, part of the reason he got hired is he's Bill Belichick. He's there for the name. He's there for the next few years to try and recruit their future. This year is this year. I'm not going to really judge UNC and Belichick for at least another couple years because every college, you recruiting is really what matters. You can bring in as many people as you want.
No.
He's not gonna
Like
be
I
there
said,
in 2
he
years.
might not even be there in a year.
He's not going
I
to be
can
there in 2
see
years.
whatever.
That's and again, it's like the Urban thing. It's like, dude, he's going to quit this so quick.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, this isn't worth it.
Nope.
It doesn't make sense. You were making Tom Brady got a $300 million contract when he retired from the NFL to be a broadcaster at Fox. He was given that contract when he was still in the NFL.
Right.
They were like,
which
oh,
is hilarious.
the instant you're done,
We get you.
we have a contract for you.
We
You're
own
telling me Bill
you.
Belichick- You're telling me Bill Belichick probably wasn't getting $5 to $10 million. Just, hey, every Sunday, Thursday, and Monday, you got to talk football with other guys who talk football.
Just give us a whoop.
Yeah. Be a little personable.
Yeah.
Let yourself out of the cage, Bill. You can bring your girl. I don't care.
Pull down the hoodie.
Now
Pull
it's
down
like at
the
UNC,
hoodie.
and it's like, oh, it's there for recruiting. It's like, if I was Bill, I'd be like, I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm here for your next 4 or 5 years.
No. You pay people to do that for me.
Right. Like,
Tell them I'm here.
so when I think of like this tarnishing his legacy, I don't view the girl as much. I view more like,
I just mean this situation.
This
I think all
situation,
these
like, I
moments are snowballing on themselves.
and I guess I can agree with that. Like when I think of Urban Meyer now, I'm going to think like, I have no idea why I did the Jacksonville job, but
dude,
still-
guess what? Here's the thing. I'm a Buckeye fan. I have two-dimensional view. I just see loving Buckeyes. When I see that man, I think of you were married with a little girl on your lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hear you.
So it's like
I
two things at
appreciate you,
once.
but it's you did put an asterisk there, dude. It's you did something. Through line between these guys is Aaron Hernandez, which is crazy, but you did great in Florida. Then you go to Ohio State, you do great again.
oh my God,
And-
that is a great
Yeah,
connection.
there you go.
Actually,
I'm good. And
that
then
took me a second. I was like,
yeah, he went from Florida to killing people in New England. It's crazy.
So yeah, it's just more like that.
But then I'm looking at Urban. I go, dude, you are. Here's the thing.
Can you imagine? Wait, let me throw
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
scenario.
Please.
So again, now let's bring Tom back in, right? We all look at Tom's golden boy.
Dude, I look at Tom and I go, greatest football player of all time.
But-
You kissed your son on the lips.
Actually, I wasn't going to go there. I was going to
I
say,
did.
No, that's fine.
You
That's
got
fine.
weird shit with your wife. You kiss your son on the lips.
That was fine. I thought you were gonna say like, what if he cheated on his wife? I'd be like, yeah, I would always bring that up, and instead,
No, she cheated on him.
yeah,
And you
And he
kiss your son on the lips.
maybe there's just a lesson in this, and it's like, don't be
They're
that
all
famous.
freaks.
My lesson is we've talked a lot about Belichick, and I did not think Belichick was honestly worth the amount we've
He's
talked
won
about
6
Belichick.
Super Bowls.
Yeah, but
How is
now,
there not a lot to talk about? the
okay,
man?
based on everything everyone said is this is not going to work out.
He's
Bill's
won
going to
6
quit in a
Super
year.
Bowls,
It's
we were
like
able to
we've
talk
talked
more
this
about
much
not
about
that.
Bill Belichick, and no one seems to think this is a good fit for him. But we've still kept talking about Belichick.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when we talk about not a good fit for Bill at UNC, I don't think of any college job I think he would fit in at. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, I don't think it'd be like, oh, the Alabama job's open. It's like, I wouldn't want that. Now with this new NIL thing, you think the guy from Washington's liking that job? They've
No.
like they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. When has that ever happened at Alabama
Right.
in
right.
like 2 decades? And so it's like, but you pick UNC, and it's like they suck.
right.
They're bad. Bill, what are we doing? You got fired from the Browns. Like, that's where your career was at one point.
Before you became a legendary coach.
Literally, while you were doing that, Tom Brady was like splitting time with another quarterback in Michigan.
Wow.
It's weird how you guys went from that to where you're at now. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, Tom Brady, like, I'm praying he doesn't do weird. But like, I'm praying, like, don't get weird, Tom. Just talk football. Talk football.
Just don't let me see you kissing your son.
date the hot mom from Modern Family. I don't care.
Mm.
Just do something. But like, don't like. It's just. It's like Aaron Rodgers. I guess. All right, I can see my point completely. To you, like, I'm only gonna think of him as like a weirdo. I'm
Yeah,
like,
dude,
yeah, you're
you
a top
you
10
were a
quarterback. Like, you're a
guess
top
what?
10 quarterback, like ultimately. But like,
My whole youth, they put you at one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Now I'm like, I have no respect for you. Zero.
see, I still have respect for Bill, but Aaron.
No,
I
I'm
don't.
talking
But,
about
like,
Aaron Rodgers.
But like, I know, but
I'm
like,
like, I have no respect for you.
you know, and it's just like, one of
And
those-
you did nothing but drugs in the woods.
It's just weird.
No, actually, you did do something. His big thing was, and you can see the clip here, you don't get to play golf over the summer for a charity golf outing. And when a child throws you a football so he can say, I played catch with Aaron Rodgers, only somebody consumed by a demon takes that football, turns around, and throws it over the stands behind him to leave a child crying, of course. That is how I remember you. And you're the greatest quarterback of all time. Lick the bottom of my shoe.
So it's just weird seeing these guys outside of football. I truly think the guys I had at the best was like Joe Namath, like back in like the 70s.
Dude, Jim Brown
You know what I
even
mean?
said, he goes, my blessing is phones didn't exist.
Yeah, you know,
The
like
internet, social media. I got to be the, and I'm putting
all
words in
could've-
his mouth, but it's like, if they're all, what we're seeing is they're all freaks. I didn't need to see Tom Brady kissing his kid on the mouth. You put it on social media. You literally were like, see this thing? We do this. This is our thing. It's like, you chose that. Jim Brown didn't even have that option. You didn't even get to know if there was any lines of freak. They don't exist to any of you.
yeah, it's just like, oh my god, I just like, it just completely reminds me of the Urban Meyer thing. Like, I know I keep bringing that up, but it's really, it's like in 2-3 years, Bill's not going to be there. He's not going to be there. He's not going to want to do it. He's not going to want to deal with it. They're going to go like 4-8, and he's going to be like, oh my god, another year.
Right.
I got to start the recruiting all over again. And you have to talk to him. Like, you in the NFL, you're going to pay the scouts to be like, okay, this is what we like about these guys. Urban Meyer was talking to these kids. He was like Jim Harbaugh
Yeah.
famously took
And Jim Tressel.
he had a
Yeah.
sleepover with one of them once. It was a punter.
Mm.
That doesn't get talked about enough. It's like Matthew Broderick running over that person. Like, we just ignore those things, I guess.
There's a lot of these little footnotes.
Yeah, I guess I just at the end of this, I really hope for Bill this is just a footnote.
And not a full chapter.
Like, I just hope it's a footnote. And dude, would it be a big deal if he was still seeing this girl and he was just doing broadcasting? Probably
No,
not.
that's what I mean.
Probably not. Like,
You
it's the
front center.
it's the
You're
NFL,
it's this like sidelines, front and center. You're like, what is this? That's insane.
I did love his comment about her bell bottom pants.
Exactly.
Like in the 70s. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I think that's a very strong conclusion to this point because he's still always going to be Bill Belichick, but of course, he leaves us with a lot to talk about still. That being said, to kind of close out college, one little interesting takeaway from this past week that's worth at least acknowledging. I come across this clip, and Colorado's got this college football game, and point of view, you check on Twitter, and your son is going viral for his oversized jersey. I'm like, what are we talking about here? Did you see this? So, two football players, situation happens. I don't know, somebody gets injured, something happens where an unexpected player has to go out on the field, but somebody else on the field already has that phone that number, that jersey number.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
had to take a lineman's like 4 times too large jersey to put over everything he's got on. And
Bree's first punt wasn't good. This one much better. It bounces.
his oversized jersey on his little tiny runner. It's huge, dude.
And they're going to mark him down.
And of course he got a grab. Like,
How's a team are you that unprepared?
Right.
Like you
don't have a backup that, doesn't conflict with numbers?
Wait, what number is he wearing?
43.
He's wearing 43?
Yeah.
How big is this kid?
Oh, dude, they had to take it from a lineman. No, that was the jersey they
43.
put over the returner.
yeah,
So
so
the
the
returner-
returners.
The returner is not number 43.
No, he's 3, I believe.
But 43 is like a linebacker.
Well, they had to just give him a number that wasn't being used for the play.
Yeah, it could have just been like an extra jersey they had.
okay.
They just had to literally go, who's not on the field?
That's what I assume, but it also could have just been like going to the
the extra thing of jerseys.
right,
they
just
have.
going to the bag boy and being like, dude, we need the biggest jersey you got. It's just such a shame.
In the broadcast booth, how do they announce that? Do they announce his name? Like, do they announce the
Like,
name of the
I don't
jersey?
know. Mystery player 43.
what was it they called in Zombies? The mystery box?
Yeah. All right. So I guess this is a perfect time to trade. We've talked enough about it as we've been kind of trapped in college.
There's a little
It's-
less interesting storylines with the NFL going on. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
it
College
is.
has got a lot of weird ones. They got a lot of weird.
Well, speaking of, just storylines, we've got a room full of Browns fans, and the last time this player was good was on the Browns, arguably, maybe. But I don't know. Did you see that our good friend Amari Cooper has retired?
Had, a few teams hitting me up, but I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to show that I can. Trust me, I still got some juice left, so I want to show it. And I felt like this was the opportunity for me to show it.
Interesting.
And it's so funny because literally a week ago,
yeah.
people were doing fantasy football drafts, and I know people that drafted Amari Cooper,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's so funny now.
even worse, dude.
It's like
The
when they-
team cut players.
Well, and we've all learned now, like Xavier Worthy out in the game. It's like he was drafted by so many people. It's like, man, that's what sucks about drafting sometimes.
It's like Andrew Luck. He famously did that. Like retired right before the season.
Yes,
But
started.
his,
that's right.
his
Yeah.
But his was because he had so many concussions and stuff. Like, that's different than Amari Cooper just going, no, I'm not excited to play. Nah, I'm going to retire. Like,
I don't know. I think it's one and the same. Like I think a
I don't
lot of
know.
these young guys, like Luke Kuechly, retired at 28. I just think a lot of these guys like make a bunch of money, and it's like I'm not getting any younger. I haven't really gotten seriously injured. I mean, like at that point too, like I'm sure the pension hit for him. I'm sure like he's been in long enough to where like he's got the pension. He's probably made a ton of money.
right.
How much more do I really have to prove?
Exactly.
Especially as like a receiver, a linebacker, Luck, that's what made Luck's weird. Luck was like generational talent, turned out to be everything they all thought he was going to be, and was like 28 done. Like that was weird.
I agree.
Yeah.
but like Amari Cooper, though, he literally had
Yeah.
just signed the contract. Like, why even sign then? Like, why take a roster spot?
Well,
from
who knows what
someone?
happened in
Yeah.
his life where he was
I was
like,
like,
all right,
things
I
change.
gotta quit football and
Yeah.
focus on my life or whatever.
And they could still, they filled up that roster spot within a day.
Yeah.
Like that roster spot was not.
Yeah.
empty
Well, they
long.
knew who they were looking at. They
Yeah.
just cut the kids.
They just were like probably disappointed, just more like, oh man, but like they probably get it. And it's like, especially as football's evolving with like these concussions, look at Odell. Odell should have retired after he won that Super Bowl in LA.
I agree.
He didn't do anything after that.
He would have been a stud. Like he would be in Hall of Fame conversation at least. I don't think he would have been, but he would have been in conversation if he had gone out at the top, like you just said.
I don't think he would have made the Hall of Fame. If he
No,
won the Super Bowl,
but he would have
I
been-
think he would have like
The
he hung
discussion
out for
would
like
have
3
been
more
more
years and like didn't do anything.
right.
And they paid him like 20.
But I think
hate him so
like Doug's
much.
point, he would not have gotten in. But kind of back to like the Belichick thing, he would have been able to hyperinflate the clout, the hype, the
Oh
excitement
yeah.
if it didn't just crash and burn.
Mm.
It's one of those like, dude, here's what we have. We have a world where who should we give a bid for the Hall of Fame? And people throw out absurd people. He would have been one of those absurd people.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's
my
the only point
yeah.
Doug's making is that somebody would have made the absurd point of like
Yep.
him. And it's like, shut the hell up. Now, nobody.
No.
It's one of those, it's kind of like, Jarvis never really made it to those heights, but you got to know when to go out.
Oh, it's like the Hall
And-
of Pretty Good. Like Edelman.
Yeah.
He's a prime example.
Prime,
Prime
great.
Oh,
example.
yes.
Boom.
And like to me, Julian Edelman has better say than Odell.
Yeah.
He's won like 3 Super Bowls.
1,000
Yeah.
But like
trillion
he won't come
percent.
close to
That
touching
was a perfect example.
it. But he won't
Yes.
come close to touching it.
No.
I
Like,
agree.
just won't. But like
And he's an
1000%.
Ohio boy. Woo.
But like that's all right. Let me just throw this scenario at you. He's still playing. I think he could be a Hall of Famer. But I think in recent years, people are not looking favorably
Mhm.
Russell Wilson. You think Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer?
Seriously?
He would have
think he's a Hall of Famer?
Seahawks era.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
He's
That
fallen
was a
off since
hot
post
era.
Seattle.
Yep. He was so
He should have won
hot.
2. You can make the argument he won 2, and Tom would have one less.
Wow.
But like that's a
all
prime
you had to
example.
do is hand the ball off.
Yeah.
He
Oh my
actually
God.
lost that Super Bowl. So I'm going to
Yes.
say,
Yeah.
He
no,
lost
you
that.
threw the interception, so no, you couldn't have had
But
to.
it's like
You-
Marshawn Lynch, baby. Everybody knows Marshawn was right. Should have
Yeah.
just gave him the ball.
wait, it's not Marshawn was right. Marshawn wasn't like, hey, give me the ball.
Yeah.
It was just, you should have picked Marshawn.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Marshawn went on the league and all these other shows
God.
doing
Well,
the
yeah.
skit, making fun of it. So he won. He won.
No, he lost. That's why he's
Yes,
still
he did.
pissed.
He was actually the first place loser.
No, it's just like, but like again, like that's why I use that as like an example. It's like
It's perfect.
his resume is Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
Russell Wilson's resume is Hall of Fame. There's not a blip on it. But then when you look at his last 5 years, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, who was this guy?
Exactly.
country, let's ride.
But like Super Bowl, I think he was a league MVP, multiple playoff wins. He's going to have like probably a 70% winning percentage as a starting quarterback.
Well,
Like-
Will, my opinion, the best Hall of Fame people are the people who did stuff on a team that never won anything. Like Miles
Rivers.
Garrett should in the
Yeah.
future be
I
in
agree.
discussion. Our team is shit.
Miles
but
Garrett's
like
the first
he is a
ballot.
yeah, he's
stud.
going.
What,
No,
Doug, what are you talking
Will
about?
said a better one. Philip Rivers.
Yeah, Philip
Yeah.
Rivers is a better example.
That's what I'm saying. Like you should be like you are a good player, but your team was, but you made it work. And so I don't think really necessarily winning should really be what matters. It's really what you can do with the team around you.
Yeah. But it's-
I just kind of, I just want to acknowledge as we're watching the Friday night football game. I mean, this fourth quarter is really getting tight.
Oh, yeah,
18
no,
to
it's been a
20.
good
This
game.
is turning
Well, and
into
it
a good
should
game.
be 19 to 20, but they missed the extra point.
Oh
you know,
man!
But it's like one of those is Doug Miles Garrett is easily a first ballot Hall.
no,
Oh,
he
yeah.
is the Hall of Fame.
And
He's
that's
in
what
the
I'm
Hall of
saying.
Fame.
No,
he's
and
already
he's-
in the Hall of Fame. What are we
he's
talking
my-
about?
Garrett, I was
yeah,
like, what are you
And
talking
he's
about?
my example of like he is a stud. Our team ain't doing shit. We're not winning a Super Bowl while Garrett's on our team. Sadly, I wish we could, but I don't think so.
At that position, though, you could afford like Jarvis and like
Exactly.
Odell and Edelman. It's like at that position, you could afford it. What makes Edelman so interesting is it's like he was an integral part of 3 Super Bowls.
Boom.
Like that's like the weird one where it's like if you took away those 3 Super Bowls, you'd be like, yeah, he's like Jarvis.
Right.
He's closer to Jarvis, which is fine. Still a great career. But it's like, I think of like Philip Rivers the closest to that and be like, yeah, he never won a Super Bowl. He's probably top 10 in like touchdowns, passing yards, completions, attempts, all those metrics. And
And
it's like,
boy, did he get close
there's an
a
argument.
lot.
There's an argument to not put him in.
Right.
Like there's a
Oh,
very
there's a
legitimate
strong argument. Yeah.
So that's why when I think of Russell Wilson, I was like, he's got the Super Bowl. He has a Super Bowl.
That's a good
and
one.
a
to-
dynasty.
Right.
You know?
So, kind of grounding us now into, well, there's some that we're just gonna have to reserve for coming weeks because we've gone so deep into today's episode. I want to talk about kind of projections for this week, maybe the season. But speaking of projections for the season, we have our Rethink Tank, the different shows across different channels, and we had an opportunity to speak to one of the listeners who was providing us topics, and I had for our other shows, and I had to reserve this for the football show. These are his predictions for the Saints this season, and so if you go to the Neuro Gym, you can communicate with us directly and give us some. And so I really wouldn't consider the Saints quarterbacks, but you guys being a part of the show made us. So here we are. What do you think or predict for the Saints quarterback situation coming in this new season?
I feel like you should start Spencer Rattler because he's somewhat proven. He's done better in all the mini camps. And then, if he's ass, then you let Tyler Shuck play.
Yes. I can. Hey, you guys are in a much better situation than us. We got more quarterbacks than we can count, and they're all terrible. So I don't know what to expect.
Shadur's got to be the starter.
I hope something pans out with that.
You can only have 3 QBs, so I would keep Shadur, Kenny Pickett, and Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the move. But I'm shocked that Kenny Pickett is holding true as high as he is. I really didn't think he had it anymore, but he's showing he's still got something. We hate the Steelers, so to get the Steelers scraps is just even worse.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. He came from the Steelers. He went to the Eagles, literally robbed a ring. He didn't do shit, and then just dipped.
Yeah, right. Hey, that's it's kind of like Blue Mountain State. No better seat than being in the QB2. You just collect the ring, get the accolades, don't hurt yourself.
I just want to say real quick, I knew from the get-go Pickett was going to be the odd man out. Of course, we're going to keep the 2 rookies, super cheap, long-term team contract, and the veteran who we trust the most. It's like I always knew Pickett would be the odd man out.
And you know what? I appreciate past me reminding future me. I also just don't want Steelers crumbs. We don't need their scraps.
I want to say that kid knew ball, but boy, he did not know ball.
No, he did not know ball.
Like, we got to search the door. Get him off.
Hey, Johnson, we appreciate the submission. It was an interesting consideration for a team I really necessarily want to consider, but keeping us grounded. Chiefs are playing the Chargers. They're in Brazil. We were making giggles at the beginning of the episode. Shakira's out here booty dancing for the folks. Did you see the press conference exchange leading into today's game? This happened yesterday. I think it was Thursday, maybe even Wednesday. But this is an exchange between Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce that, really, really raised appreciation for Travis Kelce for me. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Planned for this all summer long, and now we're just ready to play football again.
And Travis, what was last night like at the airport?
Oh man, it was crazy. It was a lot of fun seeing all the fans there, and
he had that one coming for telling everybody I didn't know where Brazil was on the map.
Top tier impression, by the way. That was, you could tell he for sure has done that to Taylor before. Getting ready.
Oh yeah. They do scenarios. I wonder. Let's ask him out on a double date. How do you think it's going to go for them? Let's act it out.
And then
you be his annoying wife, and I'll be Pat. That's dude. At the end of the day, these are guys in a locker room just goofing around.
Yeah.
That's really, and you just got to see it right there.
Yeah.
And so it's we always see the Kelce's, him and his brother, in the most celebrity way. And it's at the end of the day, it's these are just dudes in a locker room just kind of shooting the shit.
That's right.
They're just sort of chopping it up.
Yeah, it makes it fun. And it was definitely fun for all of us. I mean,
yeah.
That's what makes it. And anyway, so let's kind of start closing out the show here. As we conclude our episodes, we like to look at this week's schedule, give our predictions, maybe assist you in your considerations for your fantasy team, and maybe guide you as you make your gambling picks for the week. And then we do our parlay pick of the week. All 3 of us pick one parlay pick, and we'll disclose that at the end once we conclude here, where you could join along and maybe get lucky with us. And there's an incentive for us to win. If we don't hit our parlay pick, respectively, the person whose pick doesn't hit, they got to chug an ice for you next week. Is going to be our first week. So, with all that being said, let's get into our games this week. So we already had our Thursday night football game, the Cowboys and the Eagles. What an interesting game where we had multiple delays. It starts off with Dak Prescott getting a little shifty. We got spitting going on.
That
And,
was a wild way to start the NFL season.
and the NFL's out here saying, we're going to humble these folks. We're cracking down. We're proving them that we aren't settling for this. And it's like, yeah, dude, that was pretty cheeky. But at the same time, this is football.
I give Dallas credit. They played a much better game than I thought they were.
Much better game.
They really were in that game. They were in that game the entire time.
With a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
And a
And
rival.
Philadelphia looked exactly how you always expect Philadelphia to do. Chaotic as hell. Just kind of all over the place, it seems like. And then Jalen Hurts just emotionless.
Yes.
Just kind of like handling it. Like it really felt like the best of both teams.
1,000%. 1,000%. So getting into tonight's game, as you can see where we're at as we're talking to you, let me update this because that is
the
definitely
Chargers just
not
scored.
the score.
The Chargers just scored too.
Oh, good.
It's now 20.
Goody. 18-20.
Now it's 26 or 27-18.
Really? So
Chargers just
it
scored.
isn't as live
they
as it
just
says it
scored.
is. Refresh page.
Oh God. Oh geez. Oh,
Oh,
geez.
oh,
oh,
what-
God.
What did you do? What did you do?
All right, I'll take your word for it. The score's higher than it's
I mean,
displaying.
it's right there.
18-20. You said
No,
26.
27-18.
the game is literally right there.
It's 27-18.
Okay, so we got a tight one. I mean, the Chargers are looking impressive for,
That could be a
holding.
preview of the division winner in week 1.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
This will be a strong team to watch. Now getting into the first games of Sunday, the 1:00 games, the Buccaneers, Falcons. Who do you got, Will?
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
But
I
I think like this Chargers Chiefs games, it's like a preview
Wait,
of
what?
like how the division can go. Because I think it's between either one of those two teams. So I'm gonna take Tampa.
Sure. No, I could totally agree. I think also I'm hoping the Falcons can be, get themselves out of this rut they've been in for the last few seasons, but I anticipate them to be consistent where they've been.
Is Kirk Cousins still on Atlanta?
I have no idea.
Because Michael Penix is a starter, but they paid him a ton of money going into last year.
I thought they released him.
Nope, he's still on Atlanta. So they now have the second most expensive backup quarterback behind our very own expensive backup quarterback. But they gave him like $200 million like going into last year.
Yeah, but here's the difference. We actually intended to start and pay the person we're paying, but sadly it didn't work out that way.
I mean, I think Atlanta did too. I think they just were like, we saw.
Yeah, but that was Kirk Cousins. We were signing someone we thought would actually like play at the time.
All right, looking at the Bengals and the Browns, I so badly want to pretend there's hope, but
going with
the
the Browns.
Bengals need to win this. If they don't, they should be ashamed. But also, they're a team that takes a while to get going, and the Browns have their number. So this is going to be the one game of the season where we get to sit here on the panel and actually have hope before it's crushed on us.
I agree with every point you made, and that's why it freaks me out that Cincinnati might win.
Oh,
It's like, yeah, we have their number. They slow start. We actually somehow always start pretty well, except last year. It was not good. But I'm going Cleveland.
Yeah, hey, I love it. I love it. Looking at the Dolphins, the Colts. This should be the Dolphins. I really don't think the Colts have done enough in the offseason to transition their team out of kind of the legacy they've kind of put themselves in lately. But, new dawn, new day. Who knows? And the Dolphins definitely are a shaggly crew that just it's like a pirate ship. I mean that literally. There's so many independent folks that are trying to grab the wheel and take control, and too many controlling personalities. And I think it's a team that's going to struggle controlling that locker room more than anything else.
I think it's going to be Indy, but I think for
Really?
every reason you just said about Miami, about the pirate
I can
thing,
see
I
that.
was like, Mike McDaniels, I don't think people respect him as a
No,
coach. I don't
it's,
think
you
his
got a
players
weak
respect-
coach with strong personalities that don't respect the coach.
Like Tyreek Hill is constantly talking.
Well, dude, Tyreek Hill alone is like probably the central piece at this point where it's like this guy is, as long as he's there, anybody else that's on the fence of disrespect or control is totally encouraged by Tyreek Hill.
He talks very poorly of Tua. I have no idea why.
Right.
I have no idea. I get Tua's not a top 10 quarterback, but like, my
But
God,
come
you make
on.
him sound like he's awful.
And the guy is giving it his all.
He's literally actually almost like died.
Legit,
multiple
when
times.
he is healthy and not concussed, he's a solid quarterback.
Yeah, he's
and
a
no
solid
one can
quarterback.
So it's
doubt
like,
him.
Tariq, shut up.
He keeps returning. Like, he could have been, honestly, the NFL could have just medically retired him. Like, that's a thing they can do. Like, they could
I
have
wonder if it's the
medically
pension.
retired him. No,
Probably.
You
he's
know.
back.
All right, looking at the Panthers Jags. Again, this is going to be the through line. Will's going to be talking about hair. I'm going to be talking about a first round draft pick that the Browns rely on. The only thing I'm rooting for, not the Browns to win, I'm rooting for the Jaguars to lose. They are our
Always.
first round
Always.
draft pick, and the Panthers are literally the better team. So if they don't come out on top, oof.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence should cut his hair. I think it looks great. I'm taking the Panthers.
I like that. It's good. It's a new theme for the season. I
It's
like
the
it.
best new theme.
Looking at the Raiders Patriots, I think the Raiders are going to be the better team.
This
Personally,
this is actually an interesting.
It's
one.
good.
You
It's a
have
good
two new
game.
coaches.
Yeah.
You have Pete Carroll, Mike Vrabel.
I think Trayvon Henderson is going to break out, personally.
I think he's a dark horse rookie of the year. I'm gonna go New England.
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't think
agree
much-
with you, Will.
Interesting.
I don't think much difference, or I would put this spread at like 2.5.
I think the
know,
rookie
I think
running
it'd be a
back
really
is going to
tight
change the game.
But
Well,
you got Gino with the veteran in Pete Carroll and Oak and Las Vegas. This is an interesting matchup. It really is.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree.
blame you for taking the Raiders. I think that's a pretty good.
it's going to be a good game for sure.
Yeah.
Cardinals Saints. I want the Saints to be stronger than they are, but I'm definitely going with the Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals. I think the Saints are really going to be bad.
I agree.
I feel bad. I kind of feel bad.
You know,
I think Trey Benson's going to break out this year because I think Connors will probably end up getting hurt at some point. That's my thought for the Cardinals.
Steelers Jets. I'm looking at the Steelers have to win. They're going to be one of the strongest teams in our conference. But with all that being said, if Aaron Rodgers breaks his ankle the first series, which could be awesome.
It'd be against the Jets,
That'd
and
be-
it happened on the Jets.
Oh, it'd be miraculous.
That'd be like poetic.
That's what I mean.
So
I'm not gonna
John
break-
Madden's up there doing something.
Football god.
Yeah, like
All right. Yeah. So Steelers.
taking Jets. I'm taking Jets.
I
Please,
want
I
you.
want to see the Jets.
I want
win.
Jets.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
rooting for the Jets, but the Steelers would be dumb if they
I'm
lose.
curious how this Aaron Rodgers experiment's going to go.
Yeah.
I really am.
It will prove if Pittsburgh has a good coach and quarterback doesn't matter. You know, like if they can.
I think he's already proven that. I
Yeah,
think he's
no,
proven
right.
that, but
I
like,
think he has, but
Mason
if he can
Rudolph.
take Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers at the end of his career, you
he's-
know.
he hasn't had a losing season. He's proven the good coach thing.
Yeah.
It would just be curious to be like, wow, Aaron, this guy never has a losing season, and you had a losing season with him. How can I blame him? I've seen his cast of Woodland Critters, and now it's you
Yeah.
from the woods.
Giants, Commanders. Commanders, I think, are going to steamroll them. That's just me.
I don't think it'll be a steamroll, but I do take Washington. I think
Now
New
we're
York's got a pretty
now we're
decent-
getting to our 4:00 games. Tennessee Broncos. I'm going with the Titans. I think the Broncos, they proved themselves by making it to the playoffs with a just moderate roster. They have the scheme to make their tools work. However, I mean, competing with the Titans is tough.
I take Denver. I think Denver's defense is going to be pretty stout.
That's
against
what's
Cam
holding them
Ward.
up for sure. I
But
agree.
it's like Cam Ward's first game. I think it's just going to be like it's a rookie's first game, and Denver did have a good year last year. I'm going to take Denver. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be like a one-score game.
I could agree. 49ers, Seahawks. I'm going with the 49ers.
Funny, I would, but
Niners.
McCaffrey's out. I'm going with Seattle.
Great point. I forgot McCaffrey's out. which
Go
is
with Seahawks.
insane. I couldn't
Let's see what the Sam Darnold era really is, or what is it? A
Mm.
one hit wonder.
Yeah, could probably. Lions Packers. This is gonna be a great game.
Divisional
Lions.
rivalry week
This
one.
is a great game. I do think the Lions should be the better. They should be the victor. But boy, are the Packers gonna make that a dogfight.
I'm gonna say Green Bay.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning.
They have
Like
two new
on
coordinators.
paper, the Lions should win. But if I'm like, making a list like Will is and I'm making a bet, I really am. That's my dark horse win. I think the Packers are pulling it out.
Well, you got to think Detroit's got a new defensive and offensive coordinator. And it's not like, Green Bay was like a 10-11 win team last year. It wasn't like they were schlubby.
Right.
It's like Detroit just had an exceptionally good year. I think Green Bay at home week one. I think they're going to win.
Fair. All right. Now, Nick Chubb.
I don't know what to make of this game.
Texans, Rams. I'm going with the Texans.
I'm going with the Texans.
For sure.
I want Nick
They got a
Chubb.
solid quarterback situation.
one
They've
to
got a
Chubb.
good defense that'll hold it.
They've
The
got a
Rams
hell
are
of a
not
running
just
back.
like a rollover team, but
Everyone thinks they're going to win like 12 games.
but again, you're looking at a team where 4 weeks into this thing, we got Joe Mixon coming back.
Yeah.
Like we are not crippled, and we're already starting off with a dent. Like they're going to be a strong team.
I think you're looking at two playoff teams right there playing.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think the bottom three games we're looking back, all six of those teams will be in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
good call.
I think all six
That's
of
a
these
good
teams
prediction.
and the two we're about to talk about are going to be in the playoffs.
For sure. Ravens, Bills is going to be the best game of Sunday, for sure. And I want to go Bills. I've got to go Bills. I
Go
hate the
Bills.
Ravens. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it is. And I'm going Bills.
I got to take Baltimore. I think you're going to get revenge for
I mean, they
playoff
need
loss
to.
last year, but then I think it's going to be the opposite later in the year.
Yeah.
If they're going to lose the one
They're going to win the ones that matter.
Yeah, that's the way football goes.
That's football.
Yeah.
Football, baby. All right, let's get to Monday Night Football. You know what, guys? I got to say,
that is such a
you know what I
Monday
miss?
night game.
2 Monday Night Football games. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool. I did enjoy that. I'm going to be honest.
I don't know. I don't mind the one. I think just because
Yeah.
you could
Well,
focus on
I
the
like
one,
having
but,
a
like,
Friday.
I
Friday's
also
pretty
don't.
nice.
Yeah,
mind
that was
more
cool.
football. I also
That
don't. mind
is
more
it,
football.
Doug. You're right.
Yeah.
The extra Monday night game is this Friday night.
And being on YouTube, anyone can watch it anywhere in the world. That's the way to do it. No cable, no nothing. You can just go to YouTube. I love it.
Yeah, don't get too comfortable. That's not going to be in every game.
Oh, I
often
know it's
thing.
not.
There's
It
too much
should
money
be.
in this thing, Doug.
It should be.
All right, Vikings, Bears.
hate
I'm
this
going the
game.
Vikings.
Vikings.
For sure.
I'm going Chicago.
Really?
Have you seen
Caleb Williams?
Have you seen JJ McCarthy play a game yet?
No,
That's why. Like that's simply it. I don't feel comfortable picking
but
Chicago.
I've seen Caleb Williams play.
But I think Chicago at home, Minnesota. It's just a McCarthy thing. I saw enough of him at Michigan to be like, okay, he hardly had to do anything and won a national championship. I want to see him in the Bit Boy game.
Yeah.
I want to see him, and I'm not saying he won't be good, but I think after 6 weeks, Minnesota's going to do pretty all right.
Oh yeah.
But I think the first month and a half, it's going to be that. Oh, okay, new game, a little bigger, a little faster.
I think they're going to have a little bit more of the momentum of last season than you thought. Like I think they are going to be a bit stronger. I mean, they're not starting anew like a lot of these teams are this season.
It's simply the quarterback.
And that's why I feel like your defense is what wins games. You have enough of a foundation where the only thing I disagree with is they'll get their legs in like a month and a half. I could see a stumble here and there as they get going, but I do think you are still going to see at least a shadow of the powerhouse that was last year.
I guess I missed.
And last year wasn't great. It was just strong as hell.
By legs, I meant JJ. Specifically
Yeah.
JJ, not the team in general. I think that the other players.
And you know
that were
what? That's a
last
great point too, though, Will, because that is the team,
Yeah,
right? How
yeah.
much of football is the quarterback?
So for
Like,
me,
it
it's
is-
one of those like I don't disagree with your point either. For me, it's mainly I think it might take like 4 to 6 games for JJ to be like, I could make those throws in college. I can't make them now.
Right.
I can't take that risk now that I used to be able to. But like the other players, the rest of the Vikings, no, I think it'll be fine. I don't think that's a blowout game by any means. That's a 1-score game to me.
I agree. So now let's finally the moment you've been waiting for, because we want to make you money. Our parlay pick of the week, where we all pick one pick, and if our choice does not win, if it doesn't hit, that person has to chug an ice. So that's our incentive for you to deliver on some victory. So looking at our pick this week, I chose Jaden Daniels. I'm hoping he can get 40 yards for rushing. I think he's got it. Will is going 250 plus passing yards by Baker, which is so plausible, especially with the Falcons. And then I'm pretty confident with Doug's too. I mean, you're ending the Sunday Night Football with a dog fight with the Lions and the Packers, and in a dog fight like that with core football franchises, it starts and ends with the running game. So you're going to be looking at Josh Jacobs with a anytime touchdown, which I can totally see occurring. So we're going to be coming back, reporting who wins, who loses, and if our parlay picks don't hit next week, we'll be chugging an ice for you here on the air. But we appreciate you joining us. We will be back next week live. So thank you. And again, be sure, if we made you laugh, we made you think, the best thing you can do to support this show is like the show, subscribe so you could catch us for the rest of the season, because we have a lot of great content coming your way. Be sure to jump into the comments so we can get a little idea of your perspective too, as we debate and flush out all these interesting football topics. But if there's anything you want to see us hit as well, be sure to drop into the comments so we know we can make sure to acknowledge it next week too. But with all that being said, guys, head on over to our website at www.rethinktankpodcast.com, where you can find all of our content in one central place. But otherwise, guys, enjoy this beautiful football Sunday, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.